Gadget the Gamer. Click on the bell icon for new gaming videos. And don't forget to like.
As you can see here, I've got the iPhone 6 in its box. It comes at the top with just a plain sort of embossed iPhone 6 outer edging, and I thought maybe that they'd give me the wrong one because I'd ordered a space grey one, and I thought maybe that because of the white design on the top they'd sent me a white one, but that's not the case. I'm going to be unboxing an iPhone 6 space grey 128GB version and taking a look at the inside of this bad boy, using the camera a little bit, having a little bit of a look around. It's all for fun. Before anybody jumps into the comment section and says, oh, this Android phone's better, why did you get the iPhone 6, blah blah blah. iPhone's just my choice of phone. I really like using it, it's just what I'm used to, and I always upgrade when I can to the new one, just so I can get all the additional features. So let's jump into it. And get inside this bad boy. So finally managed to get inside the packaging, literally unboxing it properly for the first time here and taking a look inside. Oh, let's take this thing off. Goodbye. Plastic rubbish. I do also have an iPhone 5S, the sort of champagne gold version here as well, so we'll be having a look at a little bit of a comparison between the two as well for any of you guys that are interested. Here we go. It's going to slide out. Funny thing is, I think the guy in Perth in Australia, the first guy to get the iPhone there, he took it out of the box on a news show, and it flew out the box and landed on the ground. I don't think it broke, but almost broke. Ooh, there we go. First look at the iPhone 6. Whoo, baby. Oh, baby. So let's first of all just have a simple size comparison. So we've got the iPhone 6 here, the iPhone 5S there. And it does look bigger. I haven't had a chance to get the iPhone 6 Plus. I wanted to get both of them and compare both of them on camera for you guys, but like I just couldn't pre-order it in time. This is the only one I could get on the day. But wow, I first of all really like the round edges personally. I had the iPhone 3GS for a long time, and I really liked the rounded edges. And when they moved to the sort of flat edges for the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5, I wasn't quite as keen on it. But in terms of sizing, this is definitely bigger. I can feel that it's a lot bigger already. And you know what? I was kind of worried that the iPhone 6 Plus would be a little bit too big. I think the iPhone 6 Plus would be a little bit too big. I'm glad I got this one on day one. This, I think, is probably going to be the iPhone I use the most. Now, there are a few additional features on the iPhone 6 Plus in terms of the camera, the screen resolution, and also the battery life. But this bad boy right here is probably the perfect size. So let's take off the backing as well. Oh, goes all the way along the front. Okay, I see you. Oh, baby. So here we go. This is the iPhone 6. Now, we'll take a look at it in a second. We'll boot it up. I'll sync over all my apps and everything, and we'll compare it directly to the iPhone 5 Plus. To the iPhone 5S. But there's also a few more things in here, and since it is an unboxing, I really should show you guys everything. You've got a little bit of a manual in here. I believe this just contains the ability to get the SIM card in and out of a phone. Few more instructional pieces. Not very interesting. The standard charging kit. I remember when I did an iPhone 5 unboxing, everyone was really confused about this. I live in England, in the UK. This is the adapter. This is like the plug socket we use. So if you're from another country, that's why it looks a little bit different. You also then get the standard Apple earphones, which I use pretty much all the time. I actually really like them. You also get, of course, the standard connector cable in there, the Lightning USB. And that's everything in the box. Probably the most interesting thing is actually having a look at the camera, having a look at the iPhone in action. So I'm going to go ahead and sync everything up to the iPhone. And then take a look at it. But the power button is actually now, I believe, on the side of the phone. So it's just here. So if I hold that button down, I think, here we go, it should boot up for the very first time, and it won't have everything on it, but at least we can take a look at it in action and scroll through the initial messages, which will probably just be like, I think it just says welcome in a load of different languages. But first, as I said, first initial impressions is that it feels bigger. The iPhone 6 Plus, I think, would just be too big. Personally, I haven't had a chance to hold it yet. But I'm really liking the smooth edges. I think that's going to be the best part. And yeah, it's looking awesome. Can't wait to show you guys a little bit more. And here we go. Hola. Hello. What else is it going to say? Bonjour. Awesome. So we are going to boot up this system, get everything synced up so that it's working and in perfect order, and I'll see you guys in a bit. So we're back, and finally I've got the iPhone 6 set up. This is a 64GB version iPhone 5S, and there was only a few gigabytes free on this one, so I had to transfer all of that data over to the new iPhone 6, which has 128GB, so the extra space for me personally is going to be really, really useful. So if we turn on the iPhone 5S, and then press the button, which is now on the right hand side for the iPhone 6, we can take a little bit of a look at the screens. Both of them I've put on full brightness for you guys, so there's going to be a nice comparison there. And you can already see, actually, now that I look at it, that you actually get more space at the bottom and top of the iPhone 6 in terms of the background image as well, which I hadn't noticed, which is really, really cool. So if we unlock both of the phones, I'm going to do it off camera. I have no idea why it matters if I do it on camera or not, but just in case someone finds my iPhone and tries to unlock it. You can see here that on the iPhone 6 you've got a lot more screen space. The apps are a lot more separated. I've yet to download all of my music and all of my apps onto this phone, but you can already see the spacing. One thing you can do is if you go into settings of the iPhone 6 and go to display and brightness, you can go to the view, and you can change the view to zoomed. So if you use the zoomed setting, I believe that's then going to set it up as if you have, here we go, as if you have basically an older iPhone in terms of the spacing is then going to become the same. But I don't like that. I really like the view where everything is a little bit more separated, the standard view. I think that looks a lot nicer, so I'm going to stick with that. Now, in terms of the features on the iPhone 6, there's some very cool things. We're going to go through that as well. I think some things I'll have a look at in terms of the shape and the design comparison between the two phones. The iPhone 6 somehow manages to feel lighter than the iPhone 5S, and the iPhone 5S is really, really light as it is already. It's thinner as well, which is pretty cool. One thing I don't like is that on the back of the iPhone 5S, you can see that the camera is actually flat. There's nothing standing out, so you can put your iPhone flat on the ground and it's going to be fine. But if we take a look at the iPhone 6, you can see that the camera actually sticks out a little bit. So if you're putting your phone down like this on the ground, then it's actually going to stick out a little bit. It's going to be knocking on the ground each time you do that, which is a little bit annoying. But it's probably a worthy trade-off for the additional features that the camera comes with. So if we go onto camera and then go onto the settings down here, you can see that we've got slow-mo, which has 240 FPS, or if we change it again, you can change it to 120 FPS. Now, the iPhone 5S had slow-mo at 120, but 240 is really, really awesome, and it also comes with time-lapse as well. I'm going to give both of them a go and see what they're like, because I think it is going to be a really, really cool feature, and cannot wait to give it a go and see what kind of video we can get out of it, and who knows, you'll probably see it in some of my videos in the future as well. We've got a new health app there as well. Load of new apps here as well, which personally I probably will never use. We've also got iBooks and of course podcasts. So this is using iOS 8. But I believe that's everything we've looked at in terms of the on-screen menu. The screen is really, really nice. I like the extra spacing. I'm going to do a little bit of